Madeline.
And I'm Leidy.
We are doing the lesson out of chapter 4 called Hens Pickins.
Vocabulary of this lessons are whole, 1/2, 1/4, and a brush. And the pictures represent the fractions that we will be using in this lesson.
So some materials you need for this lesson are first The Little Red Hen by Paul Galdone, which we'll be reading in a little bit. Play-Doh, 1 can of refrigerated biscuits, 1/2 cup of melted butter, 3/4 cup granulated sugar mixed with 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, which we had, in our vocabulary, and plastic knife, cookie sheet, and an oven.
So in this lesson, we had a sound play. First, me and Madeleine are going to say it, and the second time, we're going to say it all together, and you guys will join us.
Okay.
So,
hickety pickety my black hen, hickety pickety my black hen. She lays eggs for gentlemen. Gentlemen come every day to see what my black hen doth lay. Sometimes 9 and sometimes 10. Hickety pickety my black hen. Okay, now say it with us. Hickety pickety my black hen. Hickety pickety my black hen. She lays eggs for gentlemen. Gentlemen come every day to see what my black hen doth lay. Sometimes 9 and sometimes 10. Hickety pickety my black hen. So this is our book. It's called Little Red Hen by Paul Galdone, and we're going to do like a reading. It really goes along with the science activity, so we wanted to do it. So the Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, a cat and a dog and a mouse and a little red hen all lived together in a cozy little house. The cat liked to sleep all day on the soft couch. The dog liked to nap all day on the sunny back porch, and the mouse liked to snooze all day in the warm chair by the fireside. So the little red hen had to do all the housework.
She cooked the meals and washed the dishes and made the beds. She swept the floor and washed the windows and mended the clothes. She raked the leaves and mowed the grass and hoed the garden. One day, when she was hoeing the garden, she found some grains of wheat. "Who will plant this wheat?" cried the little red hen.
"Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the mouse. "Then I will," said the little red hen. And she did. Each morning the little red hen watered the wheat and pulled the weeds. Soon the wheat pushed through the ground and began to grow tall. When the wheat was ripe, the little red hen asked, "Who will cut this wheat?"
"Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the mouse. "Then I will," said the little red hen. And she did. When the wheat was all cut, the little red hen asked, "Now who will take this wheat to the mill to be ground into flour?"
"Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the mouse. "Then I will," said the little red hen. And she did. The little red hen returned from the mill carrying a small bag of fine white flour. "Who will make this cake from this fine white flour?" asked the little red hen.
"Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Not I," said the mouse. "Then I will," said the little red hen. And she did. She gathered the sticks and made a fire in the stove. Then she took milk and sugar and eggs and butter and mixed them in a big bowl with the white flour. When the oven was hot, she poured the cake batter into a shining pan and put it into the oven. Soon the delicious smell filled the cozy little house. The cat got off the soft porch and strolled into the kitchen. The dog got up from the sunny back porch and came into the kitchen. The mouse jumped up from his warm chair and scampered into the kitchen. The little red hen was just taking a beautiful cake out of the oven.
"Who will eat this cake?" asked the little red hen. "I will," cried the cat. "I will," cried the dog. "I will," cried the mouse. But the little red hen said, "All by myself I planted the wheat. I tended the wheat. I cut the wheat. I took the wheat to the mill to be ground into flour. All by myself I gathered the sticks. I built the fire. I mixed the cake. And all by myself I'm going to eat it." And she did, to the very last crumb. All right, that's the end of that book. Super cute.
And now it's time for our science activity. Okay, so before you even start the activity, you put your students into small groups and you have them practice cutting with a knife using Play-Doh. So each student will have a little small piece of Play-Doh and you'll ask them to make a little replica of a biscuit to represent a hole. Next, you will have them cut half of the biscuit, just like that. And this will represent 1/2. Now, after that, you'll have the students practice cutting into 4 pieces to represent 1/4. So you just put them together and then you just cut it in half from the other side. And this will represent 1/4. Just like, we can see, just like that. Then have the students practice this like 2 to 3 times. So you just have them create another biscuit like that, and then repeat the steps 2 to 3 times before you actually do the science activity.
All right, so now we're actually going to get into the actual science activity. I have all of my ingredients ready. We have our butter ready to be melted, our granulated sugar, our biscuits, and our measurements along with mixing bowls, parchment paper, cooking gloves, and cookie sheet. All right, so our first step is we're going to preheat the oven to 375. So now that that's going, we're going to open our can of biscuits, like so. That's always a Okay, so after we've opened our biscuits, we are going to get our cookie sheet ready. That way we can use it to cut. Okay, here's our cookie sheet. All right, let me see if I can point y'all towards this. Okay, here we go. So here's our cookie sheet. And we're going to do this so it doesn't stick. This is just something I added for the safety of my pans. Okay, so now we're going to take our biscuits. See, they're whole biscuits, right? And they just practiced. We're going to place them here. And after we've done so, we're going to take our knife. It's supposed to be a plastic knife, but we're going to cut them in halves first. That didn't take long enough. Okay, so we're going to cut them into 4s. I'm going to try to go faster than I have been going. Okay, cutting them in 4s. You can see, like Leidy showed y'all with the Play-Doh, they kind of look like this now. So after that, we're going to put this out of the way for later. And now we have our mixing bowls. So, just like this. In our first mixing bowl, which will be this one right here, we are going to take a microwave safe bowl like this, and we're going to stick it in the microwave to melt it. I just did like 30 seconds. But anyways, so we have our measuring things right here. And now we have our bowls, and we're going to measure the sugar out. We are following the rules that were in the lesson, so it called for 3/4 cup of sugar. So that this is 1/4. I don't know if you can see it. 1/4 cup, and we're going to use 3 of these. So we got 1, 2, 3. All right, so after we've done that, this is what it looks like. Okay, we are going to mix in 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. That is what the instructions said as well. We're going to take the lid off to make it a little bit easier. All right, some dumped in there. All right, so 1 tablespoon of cinnamon is in. All right, so our butter should be ready and melted out in the microwave. Ah, perfect. So this is what, oh gosh, okay. This is what 1/2 cup of butter melted looks like. We're going to go ahead and put that in this bowl. Just like that. So now we got our sugar and cinnamon mix and our butter, our melted butter. We're going to take a fork or just anything so we can stir up the cinnamon and sugar like that. Then, after you have mixed it, given a good mix like that, it'll look kind of brown, we are going to move on to our next step, which is, hold on, I'm trying to get my head in this here. Okay, so we're going to take our little pieces of biscuit, our fourths, if you will. We're going to dip them in the butter. Let me get this on camera. So we're dipping it in the butter like that. It's going to get kind of messy. And then you dip it in the cinnamon and sugar. Do that for the rest of them. Alright. So this is what they will look like. My nails are all dirty now. They look like that. And we will wait for our oven to preheat, and I will do the rest of these and we'll be back. Now done all of the biscuits and dip them in the sugar and cinnamon mixture and the melted butter. And thank you to Dr. K, we now have our pull-apart bread and this lesson. Okay, so now that we have our Dr. K pull-apart bread, we are going to take it to the oven. Carefully put it in. Only let an adult do this. Also, I would like to add, obviously it's just me doing this, but if you're doing this with students, each student would have like a little cookie tray, their own cookie tray, and their name with it. That way they would have their own little biscuits to cut into halves and then into fourths and then dip. And yeah, alright, I'll let you know when they're finished. Timer's gone off, so that means they are ready. It was about, the lesson said 4 minutes in the oven, but the biscuits I got, they needed about 10 because they were still raw. So I'm going to go ahead and point the camera down here. Alright, so some questions to be asked and that we'll ask you. What was our rhyme about? Like, what were words or sounds that you remember from the rhyme? What do you remember about the book, The Little Red Hen? Was there anything that stood out? How many parts did we make out of each biscuit in our experiment or our science activity? How did we do this? And what was your favorite part of the cooking experience? Was the butter the same or different from the butter you have at home? And is there any other time when it would be helpful to know how to divide items evenly?
More you can try. Pull bread apart for younger children if you are concerned about them using plastic knives.
Thank you.
Thank you.